This is Top Accolade Global News Updates. I am Sohibifa Jagrij. Several Israeli missiles hit a residence building in the Kafr Sousa district in Syria's capital, Damascus, on Wednesday. Syrian state media reported the neighborhood hosts residential buildings, school and Iranian cultural centers, and lies near a large, heavily guarded complex used by security agencies. The district was targeted in an Israeli attack in February 2023 that killed Iranian military experts. Syrian state news agency Sana said an Israeli attack had targeted a residential building but made no mention of casualties. It published an image of the shared site of a multi-storey building. Iran has been a major backer of President Bashar al-Assad during Syria's nearly 12-year conflict. Its support for Damascus and the Lebanese group Hezbollah has drawn regular Israeli airstrikes meant to curb Tehran's extraterritorial military power. Electric vehicles drivers unable to install a charger at home are turning instead of stopgaps offered by US and European firms as alternatives to often expensive or inconvenient public charging ports. Solutions include online platforms allowing people to rent out their chargers, pavement gullies for property with no driveway, and even mobile charging. While some services could put a dent in the global public charging infrastructure problem, they will not achieve the massive scale required to solve it anytime soon. Indeed, the length these startups are going to squeeze out more charging capacities underscores the continuing difficulty, despite public subsidies, of developing the ubiquitous charging network needed to support a full transition to EVs. The US and Europe are subsidizing both public rapid charging and slower on-street charging networks, but their development has been hobbled by a myriad of national and local rules and what the UK's House of Lords described in a recent report as outdated and disproportionate planning regulations. Many prospective owners are avoiding EVs and sticking with fossil-fueled cars, a major factor slowing EV demand globally. As the Ukraine war enters its third year, the infantry of 59th Brigade are confronting a bleak reality. They are running out of soldiers and ammunition to resist their Russian invaders. One platoon commander, who goes by his call sign Tigra, estimated that just 60 to 70% of the several thousand men in the brigade at the start of the conflict were still serving. The rest had been killed, wounded, or signed off for reasons such as old age or illness. Heavy casualties at the hands of Russian forces have been compounded by dreadful conditions on the Eastern Front, with frozen soil turning into thick mud, unseasonably warm temperatures playing havoc with soldiers' health. The weather is rain, snow. People get ill with simple flu or angina. As a result, they are out of action for some time, and there's nobody to replace them, said a company commander in the brigade with the call sign Limousine. The most immediate problem in every unit is lack of people. On the cusp of the second anniversary of its February 24th invasion, Vladimir Putin's Russia is in the ascendancy in a conflict that combines attritional trench combat reminiscent of World War I with high-tech drone warfare that's sending tens of thousands of machines into skies above. Moscow has made small gains in recent months and claimed a major victory at the weekend when it took control of Advika in the hotly contested eastern Donetsk region. A spokesperson for 3rd Separate Assault Brigade, one of the units that strike-hold the town, said the defenders were outnumbered 7-1. While still motivated to fight Russian occupation, they spoke of the challenges of holding off a larger and better supplied enemy as military support from the West slows despite plea for more from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Iconic BT Tower is set to become a hotel after the owner, BT Group, said it had agreed to sell the 177-meter building in the capital's West End to MCR Hotels for £275 million, that is $347 million. The tower, opened by Prime Minister Harold Wilson in 1965, was London's tallest building for 16 years, until the NatWest Tower in the City of London was built. Enrolling communications has diminished as fixed and mobile technology changes and its microwave aerials was removed more than a decade ago as they were no longer needed to connect London to the rest of the country. BT's property director Brent Matthews said the tower, which sits at the heart of London, had played a vital role in carrying the nation's calls, messages and TV signals. This deal with MCR will enable BT Tower to take a new purpose, preserving this iconic building for decades to come, he said. Tyler Moss, CEO and owner of MCR Hotels, said, "We are proud to preserve this beloved building and will work to develop proposals to tell its story as an iconic hotel, opening its doors for generations to enjoy." Indian police fired tear gas on Wednesday to scatter thousands of protesting farmers as they sought to resume a march to Delhi after rejecting the government offer on prices for their produce, while authorities offered a fresh round of negotiations. Fleeing the stinging gas and clouds of smoke, the farmers, some wearing medical masks, ran into the field surrounding their gathering point on a highway about 200 kilometers, that is 125 miles north of New Delhi. The police action came as the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a new offer to resume talks on the farmers' demand. Agriculture Minister Arjun Munda urged the farmers to resolve their grievances through the talks. After the fourth round, the government is ready to discuss all the issues, such as guaranteed prices for the farmers' crops, he posted on social network X as the march resumed. "I again invite the farmers' leaders for discussion. It is important for us to maintain peace." Farmers' leaders went into a huddle to discuss Wednesday's offer after the police action brought the march to a halt, media said. Top police and district officials were at the site, mediating between the leaders and the government, the Indian Express newspaper reported. On Monday, the farmers' groups had rejected the government's previous proposal for 5-year contract and guaranteed support prices for produce such as corn, cotton and pulses. The farmers, mostly from the northern state of Punjab, have been demanding higher prices backed by law for their crops. They form an influential bloc of voters Prime Minister Narendra Modi cannot afford to anger ahead of general elections due by May. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Wednesday.